Hi everyone, it's Goddess Lily and welcome back to my channel. Well, today is June 21st and in 2 days on Thursday, June 23rd, I will be having a hysterectomy. So I want to say that I wanted to write out my journey and be really specific and talk about the hormones that I have been on. I've been on hormones for 6 years. I started them at 50 and I am 56. And I wanted to include all of my reports, my ultrasound, my biopsy, and my blood test. So I was able to, because you can get your results in your portals online, so I was able to print them and snap photos and upload them in the blog post. So I have that link below. So if you want to know the journey, my journey, it started like 4 months ago from start to end. You know, take a moment and read the blog post and then you can read my in-depth reports, my ultrasound, my biopsy, and the results of my blood test. You can see all that in writing. So about it, just to give you a little history, but not go into too many details, about 4 months ago, started having some pain on my right side, off and on. Like if I did certain things in the gym, I would feel a little pain. If I slept a certain way at night, I would feel a little pain. But I thought it might have been a hernia because I was doing the leg press in the gym religiously, because that doesn't mess up your knees like squatting with the squat rack does. And they say a lot of the bodybuilders end up getting hernias from that leg press. So I thought it was a hernia. But then, you know, a few months back, you know, I started seeing a little blood mixed in with my urine, and then I got freaked out. So my GYN appointment was coming up in April. I know it's right, April, May, June. So this has been a long journey. So I just waited for my annual. And so when I went and see my doctor, I told him I was having some pain off and on my right side. And I think I have a hernia. He says, oh, okay, well, we'll check. So he's checking my right side and feeling my left and back to feeling my right. And he says, you know, I think I feel something. So he goes and checks my chart. He says, so you haven't had, your last ultrasound was in 2012. So why don't we schedule an ultrasound? So I says, okay. So I schedule my ultrasound and I go in, you know, maybe another week passed or 10 days. I go in and then another 3 days pass. He calls me with my results. He says, you have a mass covering your right ovary. He said, I didn't think it was really large, but I'm really concerned. I want you to come in for a biopsy and a blood test. So he says, I'm going to put you on the phone with the nurse and you can go ahead and set that up. So I scheduled that, you know, another week passed. And so I go in and have my biopsy and they draw blood and I ask the little questions, but of course, you know, he can't tell me too much because all we know is, you know, it's a large mass and all the other stuff they saw. I don't know, they say, you have to read it, juxtaposed tumors, and it's just weird. So anyway, I wait another week and maybe 5 days, and then he calls me with my results from my biopsy and tells me that I have a positive and I have a negative. Your biopsy is negative for cancer, but your blood test is positive with low levels of CA-125. He said, so I am going to give you the name of a GYN oncologist that specializes in ovarian cancer to make an appointment. So I'm like, okay. So I get my pencil and pen and write all the information down. He said, schedule it as soon as possible. I said, okay, I will. You know, and now I'm freaked out. He didn't give me no bad news. Well, I don't know if that was bad news, but he didn't tell me anything else. So I make my appointment. Another 2 or 3 weeks pass by to get in to see the doctor. Extremely busy. And you don't have a relationship with these doctors, the oncologists. So they're going to give it to you straight. You know, they're just going to give it to you straight. So he says, I'm going to explain to you what CA-125 is. So he goes and explains to me what it is and how it rises. And that kind of freaked me out because he said people can have low levels in their blood, but when I go to open them up and test their tumors and masses on the spot, it's cancer, they're cancerous, and the levels have spiked in a matter of, 7 to 10 days from the time of the blood test to the time of, the surgery. So he says, we're going to do a complete hysterectomy on you. And at the time that we're removing everything, we'll test that cancer, we'll test the mass on the spot with a procedure called a freeze. Yeah, like a popsicle, frozen. Freeze. And if it's cancerous, the plan is to put you on a chemo drip for 7 to 10 days. And we'll constantly check your levels in your blood in that time. And if it's not, then you'll be in the hospital anywhere from 3 to 5 days. So everything is like iffy. I don't know, any more than that. So my surgery has finally arrived. It's going to be on June 23rd. I think I said that already, this Thursday. So today is actually Tuesday, the 22nd. The 21st. So tomorrow I'll be doing a total fast flush, drinking some, I think it's called magnesium nitrate or sulfate, something that cleans you out, and taking a Docalex, and I don't know, I have total liquid diet, and so cleaning out, and then the next day is my surgery. So I'm going to keep you posted, but in the meantime, if you want to read, more details and read the reports for yourself, they're in there, and I wrote exactly what the doctors told me, and a little more detail, a little more history. I have what types of hormones that I have been on for the last 6 years, which, by the way, he said, yes, I pretty much think that the hormones cause the mass, because that was one of the questions that I asked. You ask a lot of questions, and, they kind of want to know why you went on hormones in the first place. And I have all that in the blog post, too. I just don't want to make the video really, really long, but it just has to do with arthritis. My family tree, the elders in my family all just had degenerative arthritis in their hips and their knees, joints, ankles, everywhere, and I didn't want to go that route. And no one in our family has had ovarian cancer. So, I thought I was clean as a whistle. But, of course, there's always that 50% chance. There's always one. So I want to give a shout out to 2 people that I communicated with, and that was the first one is Mary Ellen, over 60. We all love and adore her, and she's been with me throughout this journey. I was able to email her with anything, questions that I understand, because her background, she is a nurse, and so thank you for that. And the other one is the lady at 50. Thank you very much for your support too, and I love you both. And I promise to keep you posted after my surgery as soon as I'm able to make a video and let you know what's going on. I know you'll be curious to know if that freeze, was cancer or not, or if I've been on the chemo drip, and how I'm feeling, and I will definitely share everything with you. Okay, so keep me in your prayers, and once again, read the blog post for more information, and you can read the reports yourself. Alrighty, we'll talk soon. Thank you for watching.